Good evening, everyone. Welcome to another beautiful day with us on Live with Lloyd. I am your host, astronumerologist Lloyd Strayhorn. I am very, very excited. And when you listen to this young lady, you will be just as excited as I am too. If y'all hear a little dog in the background, that's my neighbors. It's interesting. The small dogs seem to bark the loudest. I don't know what that's about. Anyway, I do want to thank all of you. Um, for joining me today. Hold on one second. Okay, here we go. Let me do this. All right, everybody. Thank you very much for joining us. We have sponsors. One of the major sponsors is Nicholas Brooklyn. And this is the original uh, symbol for Nicholas Novelty Shop, actually, when they opened up. And so 50 years later, this is now the symbol celebrating 50 years. And I have the honor and pleasure of bringing the owner on of Nicholas Brooklyn, Monique. Um, so in addition to them sponsoring the show, which I thank them very much, also Riza Islam with his supplements. And all you got to do is when you order, just put in the code numbers and you'll get a 10% discount. Also, Manifest on Purpose with Miss Kimberly. This aired every Monday and Wednesday morning. She's added a new show to it called Weekly Wisdoms on Sunday. Simon Ancestral Tribute to Baba Dick Gregory. In fact, he will be on next Wednesday, a week from today, to talk about this, and also a children's book that he's published, and also Jazz Aphrodite is sponsoring this week's show. She's having a masterclass coming up very soon. And so this way you'll know. So anyway, before I get started, let me tell you that today is, I keep forgetting the top. Please like, share, and subscribe. I will never DM you for money. There are a couple of people imitating my page, and as a result, they're trying to imitate you out of your money. Please do not, I repeat, I do not solicit or ask you for money. That's not my style. And so you got a lot of people copying my page. Well, not a lot, but more than one is too many as far as I'm concerned doing that. But anyway, it's Wednesday, August 14th. The sun is in Leo. The moon is in Sagittarius, which is the zodiac sign of my guest that you'll meet in a moment. Mercury is retrograde. It's a 7 universal month, a 9 universal week, a 3 universal day. So those under the signs of Sagittarius and Pisces, or if you're born on the 3rd, 12th, 21st, or 30th of the month, well, this is your month. And with that being said, I want to bring on my very special guest. Hi, Monique.
I paid.
You know, I laugh because I've been saying for the longest, Nick, you got to get on the show. You got to get on the show, Monique. Let me tell you this. Let me tell you my own personal experience, and then I'll let Monique chime in. I was introduced to Nicholas Brooklyn through King Simon. The first presentation I did, PowerPoint presentation on Palmer Street, was done in Nicholas Brooklyn. The name has gone through several changes. Nicholas Books, I do believe, Nicholas Brooklyn.
And Nicholas Hosiery, Nicholas Variety, Nicholas Novelties, but now it's Nicholas Brooklyn, and we have Nicholas Cultural in Harlem.
Yes. So it's interesting. I often said about your store, it's like a kind of like a Target or Walmart. You just can't go in there and get one item. You just can't. And you know for a fact, Monique, every time I come in there, I'm always putting stuff. Well, I don't even get down and get settled yet to start readings or whatever I'm going to do, a lecture.
You're pulling stuff off the shelves.
I know. And so it is. I mean, you got to go to her shop, her store, to see what I'm talking about. Now, to give you an idea, I'm going to get a little ahead of myself, but this gives you an idea of her store when she got activities. There it is on the right, Nicholas Brooklyn. I mean, when things are going, things are going. There's juice that's sold outside. It's so packed. Vendors are outside too. I mean, it's the most amazing thing. And so when I go there, And so because it's so crowded, I make sure I get whatever I'm going to buy. I ain't going to wait till the end of the day. I get
Some-
mine.
Sometimes people are fighting for certain things, because we just herbal remedies. So like everybody's like, oh, put my copy to the side. And
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's interesting. And then now to talk about the countless events you had, the legacy series that you had for, guess since what, June, July, or something like that.
and Sister Cafunia started it maybe back in like July of August of last year. I have to look. I can't remember because we have so many events. I can't even keep track of everything that we're doing.
Now, tell us a little bit about yourself, because, well, let me start with this one. Um, this is you as a baby,
Yes,
and that's your dad
yes. So I was born in 1976,
on December the 9th.
December the 9th. You always remember my birthday. Thank
Yeah,
you.
yeah, yeah, anytime. And, I mean, it's only once a year, so that's the least I could do.
Everybody's birthdays, and it really makes us feel special. So we appreciate those little small things.
Yeah, but y'all are special in my book. So this is it here. This is another picture of your. Now, where were you living at the time this was taken? In what borough?
I was in Long Island. That's where I was born.
Uh-huh.
So I lived in Long Island until about 1986. Then my family and I, we moved to New Jersey.
Really? Okay. So now this picture here, this is your dad and you. Where
Yeah,
was it taken? You remember?
think we were in Walt Disney World or Walt Disneyland. We did a lot of family vacations, which I'm truly, appreciative of. So now I try to take my daughter on yearly vacations. We're actually on a vacation right now. I'm in South Carolina right now with my family, with my parents, actually.
Let me ask you this. How or when did what made your mom and dad start the business that then expanded? Because one thing you told me that was very interesting before we went on, you had 3 stores in one block or something like that.
Yeah, my dad actually, it was his idea to start the business. So my mom was fortunate to be home with us. So my father, he started the business in 1974. He used to work for UPS. So he was a driver for UPS and they had a strike going on. So during that time, he came up with the idea of, selling goods to other businesses. And then he started selling out of the back of his trunk. So I believe you have a picture there where he's selling
Yeah, there it is, right there.
to sell like black light posters, all knickknacks. And then he started selling like cultural items. And he also had like a booth in Jamaica, Queens for a while. And in 1980 is where we got our first storefront, which was on Broadway in between 17th and 18th Street. So yeah, the business was first named Nicholas Novelty.
Now, what made your father open up the store from being on strike with UPS? I think he
He
UPS did him a favor.
cultural items. Nobody else was doing it at the time. So a lot of people who made items from all over, especially from the West Indies, they would come to my dad and sell their goods. And pretty much, we took it from there. He's
Wow.
got a Bob Marley paraphernalia, and everybody came to my dad. So he also helped a lot of other people start their own businesses as well because we were wholesalers, we were distributors. So a lot of people came to us and they in turn started their own business. So I still have people coming up to me in the store to this day saying they were so thankful that my dad helped them out, helped them start their own business. So that's like an amazing
That's a good feeling, right?
is. So that's why I have vendors at the store every weekend because it's about helping other people.
Well, I
Helping.
tell you this, looking at it, it's no joke. I mean, it's really, really nice to see when you have a turnout. I mean, it's really a turnout. It's almost like a celebration, which is why I grab my stuff before everybody else get in there.
Yeah.
Um, This location is still in Harlem, I believe, right?
Yeah, that's at 1978 3rd Avenue in between 108th and 109th Street. So I share that store with my brother, my younger brother, Ryan. And
So your mom, so I take it your mom and dad has retired, and you and your brother now run these shops.
correct. So, like I said, I'm here in South Carolina with my parents. This is where they live at. So, my dad stopped, I think, in 2017.
Well, if he's been going since 1974, he deserves to kind of slow down a bit, you know. Now, this is one of my favorite of all the images you sent me. This is my favorite.
Yeah, that's my daughter, Nicole, with my dad a few years ago.
Now, when you say Nicole, I'm wondering, did that come from Nicholas? Was that a part of why you named her Nicole?
I would say too, a lot of people used to call me Nicole. So I said, you know what? Why don't I just name my daughter Nicole? Because it makes perfect sense. Everybody called me Nicole growing up instead of Monique. And I just used that name for my daughter.
And by the way, this is her a flyer. Anybody who orders online will get 10% off. And if you go to her shop at 1396 Fulton Street in Brooklyn, New York City, um, this is please tell them whatever items you get that you heard her here on Live with Lloyd, and she will give you a 10% discount, you know. Now tell us about the store because you moved several times. One was Nicholas Books. That was off, huh?
It was Nicholas Novelties, then it was Nicholas Variety. So when I stepped in and we started the shop in Brooklyn, I think around 2006. I decided to name it Nicholas Brooklyn since we were in Brooklyn.
That's nice. It's very interesting. See, people don't have for those who have gone into your shop, your store, they can. I mean, you have from books to I
Crystal,
yeah, crystals to incense to oils to
Age, Santa, we have the books, we have jewelry, we
how do
have
you keep up with all of that?
it's a lot. So I have a great team right now at the store to help me with all of the different items and inventory, but it's a lot. A lot goes into the business, and sometimes people don't really understand how much work. I have to also like go and get merchandise several times a week, and the traffic in New York is out of control. So sometimes I'm stuck in the car for up to 6 hours on any given day, just going between Harlem, Manhattan, the Bronx, and Brooklyn. It's very taxing, but at the end of the day, when you love what you do, it's not really work.
But let me tell you another thing you love what you do is raising of Nicole.
Yes.
Because I mean, if you put that into the equation, that's countless hours as when if you get any sleep. And hold up, let me tell you this. She is the most beautiful young lady you could meet. She is talented. She's inquisitive. She's an Aries born on March 26th. I ain't gonna put all her business in the street, you know. But she is just an amazing, amazing young lady. What do you have? You have her speaking different languages,
Yeah, she
gymnastics.
in Spanish in her fifth year in Spanish. Yeah, she's doing gymnastics as well. She's been doing that for about 3 years now. I also have her doing coding. I had her doing swimming every week for 2 years. Um, she's also started the piano this year. I have her in math tutoring as well. So,
Do
you know,
you sleep? Is the question.
it's done. I have no clue. So I have no advice on how to tell other people to have your child involved in numerous activities. So
So
it's a
when do you get any rest in between from commuting back and forth to pick up products, bring products, raise your daughter, keep her in all these activities? Because just one or two is enough. You sounded like you have her about 4 or 5 things from coding to swimming to languages to gymnastics. I mean, and she is just as smart as she want to be.
Thank
She asked a question. She sat next to me one time like she was an adult, asked me questions, even asked for a reading too. And I gave her one too. Okay, what am I gonna do? Tell her no?
love that, by the way. And ever since I met you, it's like anytime I meet someone, it's not even what's their zodiac sign. I'm like, what is your birthday? So it's so interesting how that has become a big part of my life. Like so many things that you have said has stuck with me, even King Simon, like between his phrases and the numerology, I mean, it has really played an instrumental part in my life. So I just want to thank you for that.
Listen, and thank you for opening up because I mean, even I mean, I buy so many things. You even work out a little discount for me, which I greatly appreciate. So it's like, but I enjoy it. I enjoy it, and it's just like, and I be on my way there figuring out what I'm going to get. I'll walk around the store. I'll get this. I'll get that item. I'll get this book or whatever it is, and I just bring it to you, and you put it behind the counter, and I
And
just pick it up at the end of the day.
I'm laughing because it's like you're just running around and you can barely come up for air because there's so many people waiting to get their readings with you. And
You
it's just
gotta wait a minute, okay?
barely get to eat.
Yeah, yeah, and also the juice man, because you've added such a line because he has this soup that's out of this world. These juices, I mean, it's just great. It's just great what you're
People
doing.
come afar for everything that we have there. So, I'm very grateful for everything that we're offering. And I'm especially grateful for the vendors that we have at the shop as well, because they play a role in the mission of Nicholas as well.
Yeah, let me see something. Okay, somebody says that's amazing, Monique. I have to think so too.
Thank you so much. Appreciate
Yeah,
that.
let me just do this. See we got. Um, of course, that's Cafunia.
Hail up to Cafunia, Sister Cafunia, my partner in crime for the Spiritual Legacy series. So please stay tuned to our Instagram, to our TikTok, and our Facebook because we do have some great events coming up, starting in September.
Now, here's another person that says this is nostalgic. It was at Nicholas, Brooklyn. I meet Lloyd, where he was hosting a seminar and got my numbers in you book autographed. I mean, it's like my second home, and I love going there. And it's always nice. And the people that come there always nice. Very, very, very.
Amazing customers. And it's amazing when they come from like other states. Like there was a lady that came recently. I think she was from Georgia, and somebody else came from another state, and you happened to be there that day. It was just such a magical day. You know,
Yeah. And in
Brian
fact, go
was there,
ahead.
Sister California. So it was like seeing all the greats in one place. So they were like, oh my God, they couldn't believe it was happening.
And there was even a woman that came there on one of your Sunday events that came first all the way from South Africa.
Wow.
I mean, it was just very, very, very nice. And I think it is just a blessing. And you're getting so many nice comments. Um, so let me ask you this. What is the logistics? How do you start your day other than before the crack of dawn, it appears?
Well, I like to take some time out for myself in the morning. I like to do like affirmations, just a quick meditation or some stretching. And now I'm getting into like working out before I start my day because I think that is essential. I'm doing intermittent fasting right now. So a lot of times I'm not eating before 12. And that's where you get the energy from because I feel very light when I only eat like once or twice a day. And
Hmm.
amazing. Like right before this, I was swimming for about 2 hours straight. I like, staying active. So I just want to like make sure I dedicate some free time and not reach for my cell phone, because normally I'll reach for my cell phone first. And when you get on Instagram or TikTok and you got a million messages, you're trying to respond to everybody, or you're trying to post up content. So I really have to be mindful of my time, and then I have to get my daughter up and get her ready for school. It's
Yeah,
not.
that's why I was saying, how do you do all of that
I
just to get time for you? Because this sounds like just what you were putting into Nicole with all of her activities is a full-time job. And see, people don't have a clue until they come to your store and see the logistics of what it takes to put it together. The way your store is stocked with all kinds of variety of things, from jewelry to oils to crystals to candles to incense to books, and I don't know how you do it.
Oh, with amazing staff. I have great employees, so I'm really thankful for them. So, like, my daughter's school is 45 minutes away from where I live at. So, once I drop her off, then it's like an hour to an hour and a half to Harlem, or the same amount of time if I go straight to Brooklyn, because sometimes I go to the Harlem location first and make sure it's stocked up and whatnot. And yeah, it's just a lot. You really have to manage your time, and you also have to take time off for yourself. And I try to get as much me time as possible. Like when my daughter is in gymnastics, she goes there 3 days a week, and her practice is 2.5 hours. So I can take that time and do stuff for myself. I could prepare dinner, I could do, I could work from home, and the gymnastics academy is like 5 minutes away from my house. So I do have my time for myself. I just try to manage it as best as I can.
Do you nap or just pass out at the end of the day?
I honestly don't take any naps. And if I do, I have to like turn off my phone. I really don't take any naps. So I know that's a horrible thing. I wish I could, but I just don't take any naps. So that's why I try to,
You're busy. I know this. I know for a fact personally how busy you are.
yeah.
So listen, this gentleman, Donald Thomas, says he wondered, did Monique ever get any influence from the Tree of Life bookstore in Harlem? Nicole, referring to your daughter, Diana Ross, Teddy Pendergrass were born on the same day as well. And there are other people born on the same day. It's either Leonard Nimoy or William Shatner, that Star Trek. One of those two. One is born on the 22nd, one is born on the 26th.
The comedian, what's his name? Red Fox. He's my day.
Yes, he is. That's right. In fact, when you talk about that, the majority, because Sagittarius is a sign of entertainment, and all of the great comics from Richard Pryor to Flip Wilson to Dave Kennison to Rodney Dangerfield to, I mean, Red Fox, of course, all come out of all come under your sign of Sagittarius. Even Mom's Mabley, the famous comic, who says the only thing a woman can do for her is bring her a man. She must have been the number 9, because you would get along better with guys, I would imagine. Because nines normally, especially 9 women like yourself, normally because they have such a strong energy, sometimes other women feel a little uncomfortable, things of that nature. I don't know whether we went out. She is away in Virginia. We'll see what's going on with that. And we'll wait till she gets back. But in the meantime, what I'll do is, there were a couple of birthdays that I saw, so I'm gonna go to those too. Let's see. Yeah, somebody says Fox Sinatra was also born that, but Frank Sinatra was born on December the 12th. That was his birthday. Anyway, until she joins us again, I'm gonna start with, okay, Miss Cooper, who lives. I think she's back. Okay, she is back. All righty. Okay.
Yeah, sorry about that. I'm a technical person. I put my phone on do not disturb, but I'm not sure how the calls are still coming in.
No, but you got to call it like that. I have to do the same thing too. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? I'll get so many calls, it's like nonstop and whatnot. Um, I don't know why Sean Brown said Jay-Z, but Jay-Z was born on November 4th. I mean, December 4th. And
He's
his
on.
wife, Beyonce, is born on September 4th. They're both fours. Both Jay-Z.
And I noticed, I don't know, with me being another nine, I do gravitate towards other nine, especially um, male number nines for some reason.
Well, as I said, Sagittarius is a fire sign. The 9 is a fire number, which explains all that energy you got to do, you know. And somebody says, Kafunya says, Rizza Islam. Rizza Islam is a Pisces. He's born March 17th, I do believe he told me. Anyway, okay. Rhonda Cooper says, miss seeing Monique at the gathering of the masters. You
I
were at the
there
gathering of the
was
masters.
Sunday, and what an amazing event that Brother Rich put on. Oh my God. If you wasn't there, you really missed out. So if he um has the stream available, definitely purchase it. It will be worth it. Like I was like in total bliss. He had some amazing speakers there. So I did bump into a few people, and I bumped into a lady um, that we shipped something to her in Texas. So it was good to
Isn't
meet.
that a good feeling? You
Yes,
know, when you meet a person, connect with a person at a distance, you finally meet them and they meet you too.
yeah, it's so wonderful. It really is. And I knew so many people there. Like I came to the event on my own, but I didn't even feel alone. I knew so many people there, and it seemed like the whole New York City tribe was there.
Yeah, I missed that one, but if he have it again, which I suspect because of the success of it, he would probably have another one, I'm sure. And
Yeah,
this time I'll be able to make it. But this particular July, August was like, just kind of crazy, you know? So let's see. Somebody says, and celebrities have passed through. Chris
yeah.
Rock, he came through your store.
Yes, I wasn't even there that day. Um, so he did come and he bought so many books that day. Common has come into the store, Jada Kiss, the Marley family. A lot of members of the Marleys have come to the store over the years. Maxwell used to shop there all the time.
Yeah, he's May 23rd.
Tay Biggs used to come and buy oils from us when we were in Manhattan. Bilal, Music Soul Child. Um, it's so many different people. Melanie Fiona stopped in. Um, it's so many to name, like, and a lot of actors as well. And you know,
I
it's
mean,
really
no, but it's just got that kind of energy. And
yeah,
but I will say this: I've gone to several stores. You had one on Lenox Avenue for a bit. The one I used to frequent was the one on East 125th Street, just past Fifth Avenue.
that's when my father was there, and he
Yeah,
closed down like around 2017.
yeah, that was the store I would go. But of all the locations, it was always Brooklyn. It was always yours. So
Thank
I don't know what it is about that energy, but it was definitely
you. Know what
there.
it is? I think I try to make it as if I was in my house. So when I'm there, I don't even feel like I'm at work, to tell you the truth. And other people, they feel that too. There's sometimes people will come in and they will stay with us like the whole day,
Yeah.
or they'll come every other day, or they'll just stop by and just to say hi. So I mean, I have people that have been doing that for like well over 15 years. Like they come like on a weekly basis just to say hello, just stop in and pop in.
No,
And
it's just an energy that it has. I'm telling you, this is, it's one thing for us to talk about it, but to actually walk into your place of business, it's just extraordinary. It is. And even this person here says, Monique, do you remember when you had Hank Rising Sun teaching us how to alkaline water with just H2O, as well as using his ID to lift a bottle of water with your pinky finger? That was super astonishing. I mean, it's just, and by the way, both Hank Risington and I are both 7. So I'll check. I says, Hank, are you going? And he'll say, yeah. And then if he goes, I know I'm going too. You know, it's
I love when you two come, and even Sister Kafunya, like the energy is on a whole nother level, especially when Hank Rylan's son comes busting through the door. You
I know. And he
And
always brings another invention.
yes,
You
yeah,
know, it's like what he talk about. He's in the lab. I went to his lab. You should see it. It's actually like a lab, not an apartment. It's a lab. There's no joke. But I mean, it's just such a wonderful, wonderful thing. And the reason why I love it too is because it's a place of knowledge that you get. And we seem to lack some of the knowledge that we should have. But whatever the knowledge is, either through books or through lectures or through other things, you offer herbs in packets, crystals, wherever levels people want to go through in that way, you'll offer it. And that's why I say I don't know how you do it.
thank you. And Nicholas, honestly, is not just a store. It really is a way of life because I didn't know about a lot of things. Like I've been learning along the way, and the store has changed me. It has changed my life. And so many people have come up to me and said it has done the same for them as well. Between all of the books that I have coming in the store and all of the different events, like having all of those different speakers, like I really am grateful for King Simon because he has had everybody at my shop, like Dr. Delbert Blair,
Yep,
Queen
yep.
Ua,
He
uh,
had Dr. Sebi's wife there.
yes, recently, and also Dr. Africa, you know,
Yeah, yeah.
Ashra Kwesi and his wife, just to name a few. But he has brought so many different people to my shop, including Aton Edwards, who does the
The
survival.
survivalists. Yeah, the survivalists. Yeah.
Like a lot of this stuff has changed my life, so it's like I said, when I come to work, it's not work. I'm truly grateful for what my father has built and that I am able to carry the legacy forward. And
I think that is very, very nice to see how he started from the photo of a little girl that could barely walk because you looked like you was less than 2 years old.
uh,
Okay, to now coming into your own and whatnot. And somebody speaking of that, because it is symbolic, kind of like the Tree of Life. Somebody says the Tree of Life bookstore was owned by Dr. Kanya. He was named Kanya Kafumbi. He was born on Kaumba. He was born on September the 8th. And in fact, when I went there in the 70s, I was shy, but asked him, could I teach? And he says, what do you teach? I says, well, I'm interested in numerology. And without any questions, he didn't take me through no credentials or how long it did. He says, okay, start teaching. But that's where I cut my teeth at the Tree of Life on they called it UCLA, which is on the corner of Lenox Avenue.
okay, yeah, I wasn't familiar with that particular bookstore. There wasn't honestly many around. I know there
Yeah.
was another one. I
It
think
was Michelle's bookstore on 7th Avenue on 125th Street. And he had these pictures with, I mean, this is where Malcolm X spoke and all the other ones, and Kenyatta spoke, and all the other people. So when you wanted to hear lectures, that was one of the places to go, right there at Michelle's bookstore. But that was on 7th Avenue, but the Tree of Life bookstore was on the corner of Lenox Avenue. So between the corner of Lenox Avenue and the corner of 7th Avenue, that's where the Books of Knowledge was, right there.
wow. And now we're like one of the last remaining bookstores out there. So
On
it's
this level.
yeah, it's crazy like what has happened over the years. So I'm just trying to keep, the torch going.
Well, I'd say you're doing more than a good job of it.
Thank
Doing a good job of it. One person says, "Is Dr. Kanye living?" No, he passed away. He was living, I think, in Florida, but he passed away just a couple of years ago. Um, okay, so My buddy Steven says, please get the likes up and get the likes up for. Listen, don't take my word for it. For those of you who live in the five boroughs, even outside, because there was a gentleman when I came to Nicholas, Brooklyn to do a reading, he had came all the way from Philadelphia because he heard I was there. So people have traveled not just in the five boroughs of New York City, but outside of the states, from Jersey, Philly, um, Dr. Africa came out of Indiana. You know what I'm saying? So it was like it's just that kind of energy, and some people would have to see it. So that's why I says like, when sponsoring the show, and I says, Monique, you got to come on. You got to stick
Long
with yourself.
overdue. I really am grateful for your invitation. I'm kind of, I won't say that I'm shy, but I'm really just behind the scenes. I'm just doing so much that, I do have to put myself more in the forefront, you know?
Well, I don't know not normally nine people to be shy. I would say you're more powerful. Maybe this is new for you,
Mhm.
but you're not shy. You couldn't have been shy to accomplish what you have. It takes a lot, and people would have to actually come into establishment to see exactly what I'm talking about. And I really want everybody within the viewingship of this. This is the Live with Lloyd family. My attitude is I treat everybody in here. You come in as you like family, and when you go to Nicholas Brooklyn, that's family.
Yeah,
That's
I
actually family.
that. Like if they keep coming, they will be part of the Nicholas family. Like they get their discounts as well. They get some free items. Like
Yeah, I mean, you do it all.
people don't even ask for anything. Like they come in, they say they came from afar or they came for the first time. I always give them something because I appreciate when people come out of their way because they could have went somewhere else. I have a competitor 2 doors away. They could have went there, so
Yeah.
I'm up against a lot.
In
So
fact, I didn't even know you had a competitor 2 doors away.
yeah,
That's
the gentleman and his wife have been in my store and they copied everything that I have, because
really.
at first it was flattering, but now it's just like, oh my gosh, this is too much. It's out of control. Like I put my little pot outside with the sage or our rock incense. Now they're doing the same thing. We'll play like some house music and put our little speaker outside. And then I saw he put a speaker outside. I'm just like, can a sister live? I can't even.
Well, they say imitation is the best form of flattery. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And this Rhonda Cooper, she says, true. I felt like I was amongst family when I stepped into Nicholas Brooklyn, and she came from Atlanta.
Oh wow.
Yeah, but that's the kind of energy your store gives off. That's why, I mean, that. And when I'm here in New York City, this is the only place I'll go to is Nicholas Brooklyn. I don't come as often. I need to come more often. But when I come to any place in New York, it is there at Nicholas Brooklyn. But a person would have to be there to see the experience, the whole energy. It's just, and Taylor B just says, I will visit the next time I'm in Brooklyn. You should. You should. And it's
And will
1396 Fulton Street in Brooklyn.
Yeah, if you come, you will get 10% off. Just mention that you saw me on Lloyd Strayhorn's channel.
Yes, and big ups to King Simon. King Simon is my brother. I'm telling you, King Simon did so much for me. I will always give that brother his props. He did so much. In fact, he was the one that had me do the lecture beside Dr. Sabi's wife at the time. This was about what, 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago. He also had me do the PowerPoint presentation on Palmer Street at Nicholas
Yeah,
Brooklyn.
remember that.
Yeah, so it's
Here,
just nice.
I'm not good with dates like you, Lloyd, so I leave the numbers to you.
Yeah, well, that's what I seem to be good at. Somebody asked, they said, hello, I just want to know, would there be an offering numerology course again? Yes, it will be September 22nd. I'll be making notice of it. They sent emails from the last one that get a response. Please send the email again too. Okay. I don't know what happened. She'll be back with us. Cindy, if you are interested in and let me tell you, we just finished the course last night, and it was about family. Okay. I know people think that's outmoded. No. And the way things are going, you're going to wish you had some kind of family, believe me. But for those that are interested in signing up for the course in September, please go to this address. Just send your email to a star8llc@gmail.com, a star8llc@gmail.com, and just say you're interested in the September class, and I will have somebody send you some information so you can know how to sign up. Beautiful. My guest is back. All right. All right. Okay.
About that. I'm like, I used
Well,
to
you
be,
can't help it. Mercury's retrograde right now, you know.
yeah, this is crazy. And sometimes no one calls you all day. It's when you get busy or you're doing something and that your phone starts ringing off the hook.
Well, that's how it goes. It's like, um, sometimes when you're trying to do something, that's it. But you always get calls. I mean, there's not one time, and I don't call often, but when I call, you never fail to answer the phone. So I imagine you get countless calls because then you got to call suppliers. Suppliers got to call. You ain't even talking about friends and relatives and people that come back and forth because those suppliers in your store, which are plenty, don't walk in there willy nilly.
Like, if you go to other businesses, like, how many customers can say they have the owner's phone number? But I make a lot of personal calls. I thank people for shopping with us. And I always say, hey, you need something, don't hesitate to contact me. So I have a lot of, a relationship with a lot of our customers.
How many how many items do you have altogether? Have you ever thought about you probably have thousands of items in there, from books to everything.
It's too many to count. I mean, the crystals alone, that's a lot. And then we have so many different fragrance body oils. And sometimes people they call us for phone orders, and we also do FaceTime orders because not everything is on our website. I manage the website as well.
No,
So
the website is a tease.
yeah, exactly. Because we can't, some stuff sells out so fast. Like, we just got the botana oil back in stock. So sometimes we don't even have it available on the website, like if it's selling out too fast. So you just have to come into the store and see what we have. And our store in Harlem, the Nicholas Cultural Store, half of it is like a toy store. So we have a lot of vintage toys in there. So that store is almost completely different than what I'm doing in Brooklyn. So you just have to show up.
Is this the one?
Yes. Yes. So we have a lot of vintage toys and collectibles there.
And that's at 1978 Third Avenue. That's between 109th and 108th. I
Yeah.
think you said.
Yep.
All right. All right. So now that one I haven't been to. I was going, my primary, I got to be honest, I'm very partial. The one I like to go to more than any other is just, hold on. The one I like to go to more than any other is just the one in your store.
Thank you.
That's it. That's my favorite. I've been to the one your father had. I've been to the one that was on Lenox Avenue for a bit. I've never gone to this one, but I will. But if I go to any Nicholas book, it's just yours. I'm partial to your
And it's
store.
that I'm just selling all these things. Like, I read a lot of the books, so I'm really big on frequencies and energy. So it's just like I'm always about keeping the energy on high vibrations. So when you come in, a lot of times you're going to hear house music playing, especially if I'm there. So you're not going to hear me playing any low energy music like the trap. I'm not listening to that type of
That
music.
is true. That is true.
Everything has a frequency. So I just try to keep everything high energy. That's what I'm about.
Well, I'd say you do it well. But for those, let me put up your banner, please, because this is very, very important. She is the owner of Nicholas Brooklyn Bookstore at 1396 Fulton Street. And this is her number to contact her, which is 718-858-4400. Her website, you should go to it, is nicholasbrooklyn.com. She is on Facebook under Nicholas Brooklyn, IG Nicholas B. BK, and on YouTube, Nicholas Vibes. Now, how long you been on YouTube?
Um, Not long. We just post up some of the things that we have going on, but we have so much social media, so you'll see different things on each of the different platforms. And if anyone wants to reach me quickly, they can hit me up on Instagram because that's the best way to reach me directly.
And that's at Nicholas BK.
Nicholas BK on Instagram.
All right. What do you have coming up next before I let you go?
We might have a yoga class on Saturday morning. I'm still trying to see if we're offering that,
But
but
you're in Virginia right now,
I'm in South Carolina, and I'm
South Carolina, rather.
supposed
Yeah.
to DC tomorrow, so we're gonna see. Because I was just in, I was just in Charlotte, and I was in Atlanta, and now I'm back in South Carolina, and hopefully I'll be in DC tomorrow because I
Well,
want to order, to the museums there before we head back to New Jersey and New York.
yeah, you're talking about DC, the museum, the African American Museum in DC.
Yes, I want to take her there and maybe the Air and Space Museum as well.
Yeah, I have been to that museum. It's got 5 floors. I think they give you 4 hours, and I think I only made maybe 2.5 floors.
Yeah, I think they went up,
There's so much in that.
but yeah, it's so much. Like I've gone at least 5 times because what I do is I just do one floor at a
Yeah,
time.
that's how you got to do it. I mean,
Because,
it's just that much archival information on African American experience
yeah,
is what.
it's amazing. So anybody in the DC area, they need to definitely go and check out that museum.
Yeah, yeah. And I just took a train deliberately to go there. I think it was about maybe a couple of months after they opened, and it was like it was just amazing, just really amazing. I said 4 hours, I got this. But when we got on the first floor, before I know it, just an hour just on the first floor. And so that's when I knew it was just, but people who live in the area or people close by within near areas within hundreds of miles should go and visit that museum.
Yeah.
Um, it is well worth it. Believe me, well worth it. So now, what do you have coming up next? Is the Legacy series still continuing, and what will be next?
Yeah, so we haven't set any date yet, but look for something in September. We're trying to iron out all the kinks. And we usually have a Black Love Spa because we host events as well. So I have an amazing
Yeah, yeah,
comes and they do a Black Love Spa once a month. So we have Reiki or we have a yoga class, a fitness class. It's different every month. We have reflexology and we always have vegan food. And sometimes we have vegan food on a weekly basis. Right now, we have a brother, Chris, that is Haitian. So he makes these amazing vegan burgers that are like out of this world. So you never know what we'll have. So you just have to stay tuned to all of our different platforms to see all the upcoming events. We usually do a wellness market. Taji Magazine usually does that the first Sunday of every month. So that might be coming back as well. So just stay tuned.
Well, I tell you this before you go. I want to thank you so much for sponsoring the show, and thank you for committing sponsoring the show throughout the whole month of September and a portion of October. So I
Thank
feel very honored. I mean, really. So every time I'm on, I said 1396 Fulton Street. Please go there. Please go there.
Wait, I thank you so much. I mean, you guys have all changed my life between you, King Simon, Brother Hank, Cafunia. Like, it's been amazing to be around you guys. You guys have been doing this for many, many years. So that's why I like to deal with the experts, you know?
Yeah, well, my attitude is look who's talking because you are something else yourself. So the next time I'm there, I'm going to go through my ritual. I'm going to walk around, and I'm serious. I don't even wait to see how the table is set up, the table and chairs. I start getting my incense, my herbs, my this, my that, my oils, my books. It's like, and then I'll have it all, give it to her, and she just put it behind the counter. And then at the end of the day, that's when I get it. That's my style. That's my style.
Same thing too. When the boxes come in, when I'm like, ooh, like it's like this day. Like when the boxes come sometimes, I get so excited when we get different merchandise coming into the store on a weekly basis.
So see, that's not work for you. It's a passion, like what I do. Some people ask, well, this is work. No, when you love something, it becomes a passion, and everybody should. In fact, I have this formula that I try to share with clients that write out a list of all the things you wanted to do. Don't have anybody there, your friends, your relatives, girl, you can't do that, man, you can't do that, you too old for this and that. This comes out of your head of all the things you've been wanting to do since you were an infant. That's your wish list. The second list from that first list is more reality. Okay, of all those things you want to do, what are those things that can pay your bills, buy your food, pay the mortgage, your rent, or whatever the case is? The third list is the most critical list. And of that list of realities, what is of that list that you would do if they did not pay you? Such as
Mm.
your passion. That will indicate what your passions are.
Wow, that's good. That's really good.
Yeah, so it's a three list process. List number one, everything you've been wanting to do, but don't have your friends and relatives around because you can't do this, and you're too old for that. You want to empty your brain of all the things you've been wanting to do since you were a child that you can remember. But the second list deals with more the reality. Okay, of all those things, now what are these things that's gonna pay the bills and do this and that and keep you afloat? But that third list from that second list is of all those things, Lloyd, if they did not pay you, what is it that you would do just out of the love of it? And you found your passions. This is how people find their passions.
And you're always dropping gems. So I hope somebody wrote that down, or they'll circle back to what you just said because that's really important right there.
Yeah, yeah. And that's when because we have jobs, but a lot of people are very unhappy on their jobs. You know what I'm saying? They got it because it makes ends meet, it feeds the family, it pays the bills.
And they
But
end up getting sick too because that's stressful to go somewhere every single day that you don't want to go to. I can't even imagine that feeling. Like I might just get a little ticked off with the traffic, but once I'm at the store,
you
oh
at home, right?
yeah, we burn the incense. I put on that house music. I feel like I'm at home. And then, like I said, I see people that I haven't seen in a while. I get wonderful surprises on a daily basis, people that I haven't seen in forever. And it's just an amazing feeling.
Well, you are an amazing woman. That's all I can tell you. And I do want to say one more time a salute to you and your dad that all started this. And I got a sneaky suspicion Nicole is going to be right behind Mama because I've seen her in action at the shop. I've seen her. And
Yes,
she is so smart. She's so engaging.
she has spent so much time at the shop. And, she always says she's the mini boss.
She is. She is. I agree. Because as I said, I was leaving because I remember there was a long evening I spent there. I was about to leave. And she says, could you give me a reading? And what am I going to tell her no? Okay. What I look like telling her no? And
And
I
she
that
eating,
right there gave her a reading.
she was eating that up. She loved that.
Well, I enjoyed it too. I loved it too. And then I told her how much you and mommy had in common. I says, well, you and mommy got these numbers and whatnot. And she was just like, I never forgot that. That was priceless for me. And that was well worth it. That made my day leaving. And it was a long day, but she wanted a reading. And you know what? I wasn't refusing the Aries. Not at all. Okay. It was like that.
Yeah, she's so into her zodiac sign and stuff. I'm just looking at her like, wow, you are only 9. Sometimes she amazes me. Like she's starting to teach herself how to crochet. I tried to do that and I failed. So she's there just watching videos and she already taught herself how to do it.
And I've seen her do acrobatics in the store. She is just a live wire. She's Very good job, mommy. That's all I could say, you know.
you.
So, Nicole, you hear me call you Nicole. That's your daughter.
Yeah,
Monique, Nicole, they call you both.
there you go. I swear it's either they'll call me Monica or Nicole. And I answer to it. I've been answering to Nicole my whole life. So now I have a Nicole.
Okay, Nicole. Love you very much, honey.
Love
Thank
you.
you. Have a very safe trip back. And again, thanks for sponsoring the show and thanks for sponsoring it into the fall. I really, really appreciate this too. And as events happen, I will always bring everybody up to date. All right.
Thank you.
So you take good care, dear, and you have a blessed day and enjoy your time away and enjoy your parents and of all little Nicole too. All right. Have a safe trip back.
Thank you.
Okay. And what I'm going to do is this. I'm going to take a couple of minutes and do some birthdays to read some people. And in fact, one of the first ones I see here is Robin Jones. All right. They are born on Ernest Robert Jones. They're born on December the 10th. Now, here's what's tricky. There people I'll notice outside of the United States will put the birthday first. I automatically assume you're here, and so it's December the 10th. People in the Caribbean, it would be October the 12th, but I'm assuming you're December the 10th. So therefore, you are a fire sign with a fire number. Your numbers are the 1, 4, and 3. It tells me you're born here to bring a lot of energy and innovativeness and individuality to the table of life. Number one, people are pioneers. The 10 denotes the wheel of fortune, that normally your plans are likely to be carried out. It's also known for be good or bad. So if you focus on the good side, and this year is your year because you happen to be in a 3 personal year. And since your 3 personal year is excuse me, matching your zodiac sign, it's even better if it matches your birth number, but it matches your zodiac sign, which means in that way you should get a lot of mileage and be very productive. And again, your numbers are the 1, 4, and 3. So let me now here's what's in this is Rochelle Vanderpool. She is a Leo. She's a fire sign with an earth number, very pragmatic, very grounded. Um, so the fire sign represents the fact she's got a lot of get up and go, but the earth sign means that she also like to keep it real at the end of the day. She's always attracted much older men, even when she was young. She's always been an old soul, okay? Always with a sense of maturity and whatnot. And Monique just says, thanks to everyone who tuned in. But getting back to Rochelle a second, your key numbers are the 8, 1, and 4. In fact, this is the same birthday as Michael Jackson's father. I'll think of his name in a moment, but that's his birthday. Okay. So anyway, Carius Hollis is June the 3rd. So Gemini is a youthful sign. 3 is a youthful number. So even though you're born in 75, you might look like you're still acting like you're born in the 80s or even early 90s or late 80s. That's the attitude. The fact that you're in an 8 personal year, this is a powerhouse kind of year for you. So that means you're likely to do very well. And your numbers, by the way, are the 3, 6, and 5. For Tylene, thank you. She is a Pisces 5 person. It's interesting. Simone Biles is a Pisces 5 person. Albert Einstein is a Pisces 5 person. Michael Caine, the actor, is a Pisces 5 person. Quincy Jones is a Pisces 5 person, but I don't mean to belabor it, but it means you're very intelligent, very bright, very multifaceted, and your numbers are the 5, the 6, and the 3. Joe Jackson, thank you, Taylor B. See, this is why we got the family up in here, okay? Hold on, where they said, yeah, it was Joe Jackson. That's Tyler B. Thank you so much, Tyler B. In fact, I think she was one of our students in the class. By the way, for those of you who took the course, How to Be a Professional doing this, it was a wonderful experience. And I'm so, so honored. We really formed a family. And we're going to have it again on September the 22nd. One more for those who wish to join. All you got to do is go to a star 8 LLC at gmail.com. That's ASTAR 8 LLC at gmail.com. Um, by the way, let's see. This is Preem Prodigy. They are December the 24th. So they are an earth sign with an earth number, which means very, very pragmatic, like to keep it real, very conservative, got nice taste. Almost everything they like, they really can't afford. But it's like that with them. Not high maintenance. They just have great taste. And so your key numbers are the 6, 8, and 3, while Fridays followed by Saturdays and Thursdays are your best days. And then I have mom here who was born on September the 28th. And so you are a fire sign with an air number, which is a nice blend. Because anytime there's a fire, they tell you to make sure the doors and the windows are closed because it'll make for combustion and make for expansion and stuff of that nature. But it also tells me this is your year where you're bringing things to a head or to a close. How I did it was simple. I mentally says 9 plus 1, which is the 28th birthday, added to this year, 2024, is a 9-cycle year. So that means you're at the end of a 9-year journey, which means next year in 2025, you'll be starting a 1-cycle journey all over again. So it is not about when you were born here as so much as the opportunity to start fresh, to think fresh and whatnot like that. This is the only so-called civilized country that don't respect their elders. I don't get that. All the other countries do. But here, you get past a certain age and they want to put you out the pasture. So what I'm saying is I'm saying to you, Messenger 215, that there's some new things are underway for you as early as October, just next month. All right, so let me go back up here to Angelo Nelson. They are an earth sign with a water number. So this is a nurturing kind of thing. People that are born on August 25th have always been very mature. They're very philosophical. They like to ask loads of questions, Angelo. So if people saying why you always ask all them questions, you really, really can't help it. It also indicates you have a very mature mindset. Therefore, if you've gotten into older relationships with people older than yourself, and that would be true whether it's romantically or whether hanging out with the guys or something like that, almost always they'll be older. It's almost as if your attitude is about picking up the wisdom from the elders or those that have had that experience so you don't make those mistakes. But your numbers are the 7, 2, and 5. And then there's Katrina Johnson, who is May the 10th. And they are an earth sign with a fire number. So where fire is more passionate and earth is practical, this person would be more practical by nature, by their zodiac sign, but very passionate. This is the same combination as Minister Malcolm X, who was born on May 19th. Okay, they're still the number 1. 10, 1 plus 0 adds to 1, 19, 1 plus 9 adds to 10, which is a 1. So at any rate, you too would have that kind of energy, strong in your convictions, determined about what you do, don't take orders well. And so I noticed the only challenge with number 1 women or women that's got a lot of ones in their birthday or in their name is that in relationships, the guys will accuse you of being bossy or dominant. But people, whether male or females, they tell it the way they see it. So your challenge may be finding a man, not a male. Males you can find. Man, that might be a little bit different. But you do well and you're very headstrong. And this is your year for change. This is your year for opportunity. And this is your year for travel. I read Prime Prodigy. I read Michelle. Okay, let me go back a little bit. Uh, this is Aisha Holloman. She was like a person I read earlier that was born on December the 10th. This is flipping the 10 around and making it a 1, but still, you would still be a fire sign with a fire number, which means very determined, very proactive, very energized, very assertive, very independent, very forthright in your convictions. And since you don't take orders well, more than likely you may have thought about as a young girl being a lawyer or a doctor or a scientist or going into your own business or being a manager, supervisor, or director in that sense. I don't care what year you're born in because you're born in the year of the 9, but your birth numbers indicates the 1, 4, and 3. Those are your numbers, and your best days are always on Sundays and Thursdays. And in a minor way, Tuesdays very complimentary to you too. All right. Then we have Cheryl Herbs, who is uh, in fact, 8. One of the best months for the number 8 to be born is in the month of October. There's this Saturn has its exaltation in Venus or something, or Venus has its exaltation in Saturn, one of those astrological laws. But I know there's an exaltation between these two. And so since 8 is ruled by Saturn, Libra is ruled by Venus, this is the perfect way. And you should have at some point assumed some kind of leadership, done well in real estate, banking, law, government, administration, management, and but tend to be misunderstood and out on your own between your 10th and 22nd birthday. Your key numbers, by the way, are the 8, 6, and 3. And that means that Saturday is first, Friday second, and Thursday is third. Cheryl, you were born the same day as Romeo Arbidin, the famous artist, African American artist. Um, your numbers are, it's interesting. 2 is a finicky number. Virgo is a finicky sign. So with that kind of combination, I know you're very picky, 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 and always been picky, picky about your eating habits, your dietary laws. If you had a family, Cheryl, your kids had to eat all their greens and all the starches and all that other stuff. You know what I'm saying? And so it also indicates you're very particular about the people you deal with. And since Virgo is a health sign and 2 is a health number, I know that if some people came over, you make sure your kitchen and your bathroom are tight. Okay. If nothing else, everything else you can fake, but neatness counts for you. And if you had a motto over your door, it would be love, peace, and harmony. But your key numbers are the 2, 7, and 5. And Mondays and Wednesdays are your best days. Now, this is Jessica Rice, which is a fire sign with an air number. And what it simply means is that you would be the kind of person, especially this year, because I'm looking at it, and you are in a see, that's interesting. 1, 2, 3. You're in a 2 personal year, I do believe. If memory, that's interesting. I went into a blank mode, which is rare for me, but yet you will be in a 2 personal year or a master number 11, all depending if I did it properly. But in my head, it's a 2. So this is a transformative type of cycle. If you happen to be in 11, it favors your sign of Leo. If you happen to be passing through a 2 cycle year, then it simply means be patient, take your time. And this may not be easy for you because 5 likes to do things sometimes on the spur of the moment. And Leos, there's no question how they roll. So, but this year says you must be patient. And if you don't, circumstances will force you to be patient. And especially this month, with that we're in your zodiac sign of Leo and Mercury's retrograde too, I'd say it's definitely not to your advantage to rush. But your key numbers, though, are always a 5, 1, and 4. And Wednesdays and Sundays are always your best days. Okay, Randy. Randy is July the 15th. So you're a water sign with an earth number, which is great. And so that means that this year for you is a year where expansion, things are opening up for you. Uh, so you should be quite busy. This is great for dealing with legal matters. This is for dealing for increasing and expanding and broadening your network. And one of my students was very observant to notice that when a person's in a 3 personal year, they tend to put on pounds because 3 rules expansion. So since 6 loves nice things, including food, okay, and then you're a Cancer with water, the tendency this year is to kind of try to make sure you stay within a diet that you don't find yourself all of a sudden expanding your weight. Let's expand your contacts instead. That would be better. But your lucky numbers are the 6, 2, and 7. And Fridays and Mondays are always your best days. Okay. And thank you. I think this was an awesome show. I do appreciate that. As for Kafunia, this is a crystal lady. She works hand in hand with Nicole or Monique, as I call her. And I'm going to have her on soon to talk about, crystals, because crystals are very, very important. And she is like an ace when it comes to those kind of things. So anyway, I do want to thank everybody very, very much. Let me see one more thing. I'm just going to go through everything quickly. I did answer the question about Kanya, head, okay, vibes, alrighty. That's right. Thanks, Donald. Kanya, it was Kanya and Dr. Moore, Dr. John E. Moore. And it's interesting, both these gentlemen were eights. Kanye was born, they were both earth signs with earth numbers. In other words, Kanye was born on September the 8th, and Dr. Moore was born on December the 26th. They were both earth signs, they were both number eight, and the Tree of Life bookstore was located on 125th Street. That may not mean anything until you add 1 plus 2 plus 5 equals 8. Okay. So anyway, yes, there is a St. Nicholas bookstore in East Harlem. It's hold on, let me give you the address. You can see it right here. So for those of you in Harlem, it's in East Harlem. That is exactly where you go to see it. All right, it's at 1978 3rd Avenue between 108th and 109th Street. And she says what makes this store different than the other location in Brooklyn is that they also sell unique toys and things of that nature. All righty. So I think that is kind of like it. Hoop, 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 hoop. See, I'm glad um, first of all, Katrina Johnson, thank you so much for the donation. See, I missed that. All righty. And then there's Randall Anderson, aka DJ Bucket Naked, who made a donation. And so Randall, you are in fact, this is Tina Turner's birthday, okay, and a couple other famous people of note. But anyway, um, you are an earth, excuse me, you are a fire sign, but with an earth number. So this kind of balances it because Sagittarians are very active, very energetic, very spontaneous, yet it's modified because your date of birth modifies it or shades it. So if you were like, Monique, who is a Sagittarius 9, where it's fire on fire, that means a lot of get up and go. But your birthday adds a more little stability, more practicality, more of a no nonsense approach to it. And it tells me that not only will you have relationships with older women, which is none of my business, but hold on, let me get this off a second. Um, I'm talking while looking at the store. Okay. Um, as I was saying, so not only will you will deal with older and younger women at the same time, also women from different cultures too. Um, and it also indicates since this year is the year of the eight, and you're born on the 26th, which adds up to an eight, in some way, shape, or form, this year is about endings for you. It's about bringing things to a head. That's on one part of it. And yet it's about fulfilling dreams since you're in a 9 personal year. All righty. And not only that, but you're in an 8 personal month. So this month of August is an exception because normally for 8 people, this is the time of year that's very challenging for your zodiac sign. But the fact that you're in an 8 personal month, uh, and this happens to be the 8th month of the year, makes it even more significant for you. So I wish you all the best. But your numbers are the 8, 3, and 6, and your best days are always on a Saturday first, followed by a Thursday, followed by a Friday. All right, everybody, I'm going to have to sign off. But before I do, I want to, see, here's another donation. Because I try not to leave anybody out, but I do thank this person. They born the same day as Beyonce. They may not have Beyonce's money, but nonetheless. So this year is your year to expand, to grow. You are an earth sign with an air number. And so this makes it more practical and whatnot. And that's the earth part. And yet logical in your deduction. You like to think outside the box. Plus, you're in a 3 personal year, which is somewhat challenging to the 4 and the sign of Virgo. So this is a year not to overextend yourself, not to overdo it, not to get caught up in people's gossip and drama and all that stuff, and and bait yourself into problems you can't deal with. Although August is one of your best months, Mercury is still retrograde until about the 26th or the 28th, I do believe. So it just be a matter of be very careful how you speak and more than important, your actions. All right. So everybody, I want to thank you. And before I go, I need to thank all my sponsors. By the way, before I do, I had Brother Kamar on this past Monday talking about men and how to raise daughters and sons and whatnot. And so this is the men's group, and I promised him I would bring notice to those who want to be in attendance. It is this Saturday on the 17th. It's the Men of Soul. It's a family day. And so it's just ready for a day of fun and whatnot. So you can respond to him uh, at the location at the bottom of the flyer. All righty, and let him know I sent you too. That is for those of you who live in the area and wish to be in attendance. All right, so let me get that out and let me acknowledge all my sponsors, please. Okay, let me do this. All righty, so I'm going to go backwards. Um, First of all, the sponsors is King Simon. He's going to be on a week from today, talking about the tribute to Baba Dick Gregory and his other guest speakers. Uh, Miss Kimberly or Manifest on Purpose is aired every Monday, every Wednesday. Now she does weekly wisdom on a Sunday to Riza Islam, who is wonderful with the supplements. I mean, it's very powerful. And for those who order it on this platform, put in the code numbers and you will get a discount. And of course, to my uh, guest, uh, Nicholas Brooklyn, which was Monique, that I had featured on this afternoon. So I thank him. By the way, I'm going to be away Monday, but Jazz Aphrodite is going to sit in for me. She's my moderator on Mondays anyway, but she's going to sit in and talk about some of the things that she has coming up because she also has sponsored the show uh, this week, and she's going to be talking about her masterclass. The lady is no joke. You have to take the courses I did and to see what I'm talking about. She's very masterful at what she does. She's the best, but she's a number two, which is very detailed. So that makes all the sense in the world. But everybody, I want you to have a very, very nice weekend. I'll be back next Wednesday with my guest, King Simon. And in the meantime, all of you take care. And my guest on Monday will be Jazz Aphrodite. In the meantime, take care.